friends, thanks for tuning in. I've got some new drugstore makeup today. I'm super excited about it. I've been playing with the stuff for about the last, 3 days. So this will be the 4th day I use it. I've got some insights on it. And yeah, it's a lot of new Maybelline. I was saying in a recent video that it seems like the new drugstore launches that I remember they always would come out after Christmas. They're creeping sooner and sooner and are just kind of becoming part of the holiday buying season. So I'm excited to chat about these things today and hear your feedback as well if you've tried them. So first off, Maybelline's Lifter line. They've got the super popular Lifter glosses and they have kind of expanded that range out to some other things. Remember the Lifter like face stick? It could be kind of a multitasking stick. There's the Lifter lip liners, and now we've got a Lifter foundation and concealer. It's called Plump and Glow. I got the foundation in shade 115 and I got the concealer in the shade 05. Okay, so I've been wearing these for the last few days and I've got to say they've been wearing beautifully on my skin. I'm talking good staying power, but actually looking really fresh too. This just seems to be a formula that's agreeing with my skin. It does come in 24 shades. They say it's a 90% skincare formula with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid for plump and glowy skin. They say it's clinically tested to visibly plump and brighten skin instantly while improving your skin's health over time. They say it's a radiant finish. Now I do set this stuff. It does have some glow. They claim the coverage is buildable, going all the way from sheer, they actually use that word sheer, to a more full coverage finish. Layer effortlessly without ever looking cakey. So they're saying it's radiant, it's buildable, it can look a variety of different ways, it's trying to be everything to everyone. So we're going to use this today. I've used it with different primers and it's looked good every time. I've kind of stuck to classic just hydrating primers. For example, this one from Catrice called Glam and Gold. I'm not saying you have to have this certain one. It's not a particularly sticky primer. It just adds like a little added layer of hydration to the skin. One day I did do my gripping primer from e.l.f. under it and that was good too. But there's the packaging. It has that Lifter cap on it. It says Plump and Glow. Again, my shade is 115 for the foundation. As you're going to see, I'm going to do a full pump of it. Full pump, by the way, seems totally adequate, if not slightly more than adequate. It has kind of like a peachy look as I put it across my skin, this particular tone, but it blends in just looking great. It kind of reminds me of the appearance of the Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator in the light shade. Like that always goes on me looking like this, but it's very brightening and good for my skin tone. And then I've tried several different foundation brushes with it. I haven't used a sponge yet, but this is just my Profusion buffing brush. By the way, did I show you my little shirt? It's cute. I got it from Shein. I just wanted to get a couple cute Christmas sweatshirts. I wasn't seeing cute things I liked around me, so I ordered a couple. I love this one. Look at how pretty that looks crossing the skin. When they say radiant, I feel like it's not off the charts radiant, but it does have some glowiness and the texture of it feels, I would say, a little richer compared to their recent Superstay Lumi Matte. Slightly more thick than that, but this one just wears super well on me. I don't know what it is about the formula, but look, it's going on. One full pump I feel like is giving me strong medium coverage. For example, it's coming close to covering up like little freckles that I have there on my cheeks. Not that I'm like dying to cover them up, I'm just saying like that's the level we're at. I feel like it's covered redness really well. You're still gonna want to conceal your concealer zones, but it does a good job and it leaves kind of that natural skin-like, if not a little more radiant than just natural skin-like glow. Now I've got to give props to the concealer as well because it's been operating in some areas where, you know, I really look at the wear. Like, is my under eye looking thick and dry? Is the stuff around my nose starting to look a little bit broken up, you know, or thick? So the Lifter concealer has been doing good too. They've been a good team. Again, my shade is 05 in this, and I've kind of been waiting for Maybelline to put out like kind of a big time heavy duty concealer because I feel like they had their Superstay one, which was honestly pretty thin. It had the little applicator. It wasn't really trying to dupe Shape Tape in any form or fashion. And then this comes out. Look at this interesting little doe foot. it's not very long. It's like a stubby little doe foot, and it's holding some major product at the end, so be careful, but it's just like a shorter doe foot. Anyways, I'm going with my dot of product, but I kind of got to watch it and make sure not too much lays down. I'm going off the back side of this applicator because the little scoopy part is holding so much. It's creamy. It's not super runny, liquidy. I would say there's a richness to the concealer, some added moisture that it's going to give. And see me spreading those dots out like I always do. I'm taking my Morphe M132 and just saying, hey, you're gonna take up this whole space. But of course I chose a shade a couple shades up from my skin tone, so it could be extra brightening for me. Probably more than a couple shades up. But there we are, getting that blend started with a smaller brush. Then I'm gonna come in with the brush I used for foundation, dab over it. Looks so even. I'm trying to decide if the coverage level is truly amounting to a Shape Tape level product, you know? I think it might be falling just shy of like the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer or an e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Just a little bit though. It's honestly doing a really good job, and then you touch your under eye and you're like, whoa, I feel so hydrated. And now I do prep my under eye with Vanity Cream, just the straight moisturizing cream, and that always helps, but I can tell I'm extra hydrated with this stuff on. So there we are. It's gotten all blended in around the nose. It's on my under eye area right now, looking absolutely flawless. And the interesting thing is just how these formulas are just a smidge thicker, you know, than just pumping out a liquid and feeling like, oh, that's running all over my finger. Or this concealer, you know, a little thickness in it, but also what they've packed in is some more moisture. So I think that's why it's able to go on and end up looking, I think, really natural. But the thing is, it's wearing well too for me. I'm not saying it'd wear well on everyone. I'm kind of a combo normal dry. Sometimes I'll get oily in my T-zone. Where I live, we're not fully to that cold, dry, parched skin weather, you know, but it's worn just beautifully. And here's the powder I've been pairing with it. Yep, Airspun. You guys know it. It came up in the grandma video and I can't stop. And it looks so good with these products. So this is unrelated. Sorry, not a new thing. I've had it on hand, but rarely used it. And now I'm like, oh my gosh. I can put this powder up on my under eye, and it's like a simple fusion is happening, I guess, with the concealer. And they've decided, okay, we'll make her feel set. We won't feel sticky. And we'll just keep looking good all day. There's a pact has happened on the under eye, and I'm here to host it and witness it. I'm putting it everywhere where I usually put loose setting powder, so it's hitting my T-zone, it's hitting my under eye area. This is the translucent extra coverage, and it truly does add a little coverage. And yes, it has a strong florally scent, but it's so good. Seriously performs so well, looking flawless up on that area. And then I've been adding a light bit of a pressed powder over the rest of my skin. So this is my Maybelline Super Stay Hybrid Powder Foundation. Look, we'd be hitting pan on that, and I just take a light amount. I've been using this domed like Monge powder brush. I got that from that TikTok shop set that I reviewed quite a while ago, and we're talking light bits. It doesn't take tons, but we're just touching the rest of the skin. I've used the L'Oreal powder in this way, topping the same stuff, also worked fine. I really feel you could grab for any powder that you feel you can just control, but this one is notorious for having good staying power. And that's my complexion with the new lifter products. I went in kind of skeptical, thinking, you know, Maybelline recently cranked out something that I thought had an overall similar claim, but these are wearing beautifully on my 41-year-old skin. I am going to go ahead and do some bronzer, and I do have a blush to share. In just a flash, I added some Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 300, and then, my friends, this is going to take some of us way, way back. Maybelline is bringing back a mousse blush. It's called Cloudtopia, and they're calling it a cheek and lip mousse. I got the shade called Toasted Sky. You try to release a shade called Toasted Sky and act like I'm not gonna buy it. It's beautiful. It's in a little glass jar. It's taking me back to the Maybelline Dream Mousse blush days. The Dream Mousse blushes from Maybelline were a thing of beauty. If we're really going back there, their Dream Mousse concealer was awesome. That stuff was an even more advanced full coverage version of Dream Matte Mousse, and it was so good. It had more moisture in it, it felt like. Anyways, this blush, how similar is it to what we remember from the Dream Matte Mousse? To me, I can tell that it's moussey. Like, I can push my finger into it a little bit. It's got a little bit of give. I can see that there's maybe a little air in there, but I feel like it's more dense than it used to be. There was more of a fluff to their old Dream Mousse blush, and this, I'm not saying the fluff is completely absent, but there's more density, okay? It's a really good texture, really easy to blend. This is gonna be a beautiful color on lips and cheeks. It's gonna give you that blotted lip look, you know what I mean? I'm so glad I got the color I got. Maybe I should say a rich, dusty rose. And then I can just take my Sephora 56 here and start blending. The blend is so easy. Like, I think this might win the drugstore cream blush blending game. You know, like, look at that. This was a dark one, okay? Always like to test a darker one just to see, can it easily blend into any skin tone? Every day these last few days, you know, I've worn that complexion combo, the airspun powder included, and then I put this on. I love it, and it's buildable too. So, like, if you see that cheek and you think, let's add more, let's do it. Couple little dabs, you know? It is a cream that feels like, yes, it's got a little air in there. I would keep it tightly capped. I could see it being a formula that might dry out. Like, it feels not a bit dry now, but just to preserve that special kind of moisture-packed mousse. It's just like they went up in the percentage of cream in this mousse. But here we are just blending an extra dot in just for a little more intensity. I love this shade. I would 100% try more. I'm so excited about that. And the thought on the lips too. I mean, isn't that pretty? Okay, here's what we've got next. A couple of eye products, but they're not like traditional eyeshadows. So I'm gonna throw together a quick eye look, do my brows, and we'll be back for those new exciting things. All right, I did my eyeshadow, guys. I wanted it to be matte because I have a little sparkling shining star coming. But did you know that literally the last man standing for powder eyeshadow for Maybelline on Ulta's website is this particular shade, this one City Mini palette in the shade Skyscape Dusk. So I thought, okay, I need matte, I'm gonna use that one. I hope we're on the cusp of a new Maybelline eyeshadow release, maybe, because everything else is like their shadow sticks or these new things. But yeah, I just did a simple matte eye with these beautiful tones of plum. These blend so well. They should be keeping at least this one around and like their more neutral one, but you know, this is my outer corner, these two friends are my crease, and this is my inner lid. So real easy look because I wanted this to be able to pop. This is the Shadow Drip Eye Tint from Maybelline, of course. I got the shade Amethyst Drip, and you can see in the packaging, let's just observe it there first. Can you tell that there is a shifty nature to this? It looks kind of like, oh, is that just sort of a cool taupe? But I'm seeing as I look at it, shifts to gold, pink, and blue in this color. It's just got a little doe foot applicator, and when you put it on, immediately, yeah, with its thickness of color, you might be seeing sort of a taupe vibe. But as it shears out, which is the way it's realistically going to be worn on the eye, not sure if the camera's picking it up, but there's a whole lot of pinky bluish shift out of that one. I'm not always a fan of little stuff like this. Sometimes I see it and I'm thinking, oh, okay, we're gonna put some shimmer on our lids. We could have done that with eyeshadow, but this is very pretty. Like, I'm kind of surprised at how gaga I am for all this stuff, but it's just been going over real well and I've been having a great time over here with it. So I take the applicator. You could do this middle of the lid or however you like to set up your look, but I kind of swiped it on, going from the inside. That's going to be where my most intensity of this shade is, and then I'm just going to take a finger and kind of dab over it. Okay, kind of shear it out a little. And you can go up just a little bit. You can actually like past your crease if you want to. That time I felt like my finger kind of lifted away too much product. So I'm going to see if I can be super gentle with the little brush here. This is just a little Real Techniques. Came out of the eye set. It's actually called a smudge brush. Just a little guy. Look at that cool sheen. I'm going to put some over here. Again, we're going to lay it down with the thickness of product being there and then kind of blend it so it's shearing toward the rest of the shadow. And you're getting kind of this glossy gleam. Yes, shimmer too, like this is glitzy. I feel like I'm still kind of perfecting my technique here, but don't sheer too much on the inner corner. Like if that's where you want your most concentrated color to be, try to let it stay that way, but then as it goes outward, focus your brush work there. But really pretty, really shiny. I think e.l.f. has something similar to this that I may have tried like once. But yeah, I enjoy this one from Maybelline. It seems like maybe the holiday season might be a time to really play it up with a little bit of shimmer and sparkle. This shade, I guess just be aware, like you might think natural, sort of taupey, no, super glitzy, almost shifting bluish with it. And yeah, I think it's kind of a pretty little adjustment to the look, and the time is right for a product like this, I feel, for the holidays. So I'm gonna finish up my eye look and then we'll do some mascara. Okay, here's what I did for some eyeliner, because I just feel like when the glimmery stuff comes on, things look a little bit cleaner when there is a liner on there. So I used my Profusion, that little gel pencil, Seamless Strokes in Dark Roast, so a really dark brown up top. And then I grabbed my L'Oreal Lace Shadow Stick in Twilight Emerald, nice rich green, just smudging on the lower lash line a little bit. And then we're gonna use this Lash Sensational Body Mascara. So Lash Sensational range has been very popular for Maybelline. This says full body volume all day, lifted curve. It says body curve brush. And here's where I take a little issue is on the brush. I thought maybe it was going to be a little more loaded down with product. When the word advertised is body, I thought maybe it's going to pack some on a little bit. I don't know if the bristles are so fine. Maybe you can't even tell. Camera, do your work here. We got long bristles that have like nothing on them, basically. So they're stretching out a little bit longer from the brush, but where the product lies is not within any of those bristles. These bristles are completely cleaned off, and all your product is down there at the core of the brush. If I had a gripe about regular Lash Sensational, it would be that, yeah, my lashes can look good with it eventually, but it takes a while to build up, and now I'm having the same experience here. Don't just think because some of those longer bristles are touching your lashes that anything is happening. You've really got to do that wiggle, 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 make sure your lashes are getting in touch with the product, which is at the core of this brush. So I'm gonna put it on and you're gonna see what I've been experiencing. Yes, it's been a very good experience so far with these Maybelline products, but this is where, like, maybe with time this product's gonna get better for me. There's always that chance with mascara and me, but I just thought when they advertised body, I thought, okay, a more thickening take perhaps on Lash Sensational, but I've got to work with it quite a while to get where I'd want it to be. You guys are going to see here that the first coat gets applied and it's very natural. It's highlighting my lashes. It's adding perhaps a little length, but it's not till I really wiggle it in there. One coat. Where's the body? It's my most defined lashes ever. It's doing great about not clumping them together, but body will have to come with some work. You've been warned. I'm going to go directly in for more. And this is coming from a person without the greatest natural lashes, keep in mind. Some people who are working with a lot may have a different opinion on this. Couple coats and I'm still not feeling a lot of thickness. I think the length is looking pretty good, but I'm gonna hop over to this other eye. You don't have to treat this one like a tubing mascara where all the coats need to come one after the next after the next. You got a little time. You can let that simmer for a second and it will build better. But I would say get you a couple coats on there at the get-go. Curl them really well because we got to anticipate the fact that we're going to be rake. Eventually all that raking straightens them out. So give your best curl possible with your Shiseido lash curler. Somebody said in the comments section, I've got like a gift card to Sephora and I don't really need anything. What should I do? And I said, do you have a Shiseido lash curler? Like it's the first thing coming to mind. So that initial coat just looking like my lashes, but maybe longer and darker, but no real thickness. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Get it in there. If they just would have created a mechanism inside the tube that would have allowed this brush to hold a little more product in those bristles, I think we'd be in business with this one. There we go. There's our couple coats on that eye. I'm gonna switch over here. I'm not putting it on the lower lashes because with it not being tubing, I mean, it never said tubing. You can tell my curl is dropping some, but it is layering up. See how now a third coat and I'm kind of starting to be like, okay, it's starting to thicken. The lashes are starting to look a little bit more va-va-voom. See that? 3 coats. Even if you take this and you kind of like do that internal swirl, these little long spokes on the brush are like, nope, only the inside's gonna have the product on it. Eventually it's getting me to a look that I think is pretty good. Essence Lash Princess would have taken me there a lot faster. That's just what I'm saying. I want to put a little mascara on the lower lashes. This is e.l.f. Lash Extender. Tubing, won't smudge. That's the point of this. I don't know if you can tell about that green that I put down there, but it looks good. I almost wish the Twilight Emerald shadow stick was a little bit lighter, just so you could like use it a little more full on. It's just so dark, you kind of have to smudge it out and keep it soft down there. It's good along the upper lash line for that type of darkness. Now the look could stop here because we've got that lip, that kind of pillowy lip from the Maybelline Mousse blush, but Revlon has released the Super Lustrous Ultra lipstick. Can you handle that beauty? Oh, so pretty, so luxe feeling. What's the deal with these? They say Revlon Super Lustrous Ultra Lipstick delivers ultra rich radiant lip color and moisture in one swipe, only available at Ulta. So this is the cut of the bullet. It's more of a straight across cut at the end. If I swatch it, yes, I can feel that sort of richer feeling moisture. I got the shade called Sedona. Okay, a more intense pigmented take on what's already on my lips, honestly. So I got that lipstick, which I'll try on, and then I got one of the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Squishy Glazes. Like we've said, everybody's coming out with a squeeze tube, super hydrating, good ingredients, lip treatment kind of glossy balm. They call it a lip butter balm, and I got the Fresh Plum shade of that. I'm gonna swipe off what's on here right now. And we'll try this because this is very sheer. So we got the squeezy tube. This is so super clear. Like it's just gonna be a shine type deal. The scent is phenomenal, very sweet. The odd thing is I feel like looking in here, it looks darker and I'm just squeezing out clear gloss. Wait, oh my gosh, something was not mixed well here, guys. There is some color. I'm just gonna have to squeeze for a while and waste some of this clear stuff to get there. Hang on. Okay. I don't like when stuff like that happens, but that's the life of a squeeze tube. That's Taylor Swift's next album. Okay, look, a little color now. She's just a little separated. It's not like super dark plum. At best, it's dusty rose, you know? A little bit of tint. Feels good. Feels a little slicker than e.l.f. or Rimmel. Scent is great. Just a really sweet scent. You can definitely feel some fruitiness coming out of that. So nothing I'm going gaga for. Really, my rediscovered CoverGirl lip thing are those Clean Fresh tinted balms. Yeah, those are where it's at. Those give some surprising color. They've got that awesome berry shade in that. Now let's do our Revlon lipstick, our fancy one. Okay, so this is gonna sell for $15.99. Did I really spend $15.99 on this? Really full color one. Swipe. Which Super Lustrous gives us that as well. But there's a different level of richness and moisture, I gotta say. I wish they kept the cut the same, you know, the pointed tip. Really beautiful. So full color. It's something you're buying for the holiday glamour of it all, you know? That's a pretty shade. I like that a lot. I'm gonna take this little sticker off probably eventually. It just takes away from some of the glamorous nature of this tube, but it's one of those pieces you sit out, you know? It just looks stunning. But it's not just a packaging upgrade. I mean, they really came out with a super rich, really hydrating formula. It's not like a lip butter because it's got that absolute full color to it. There's not a greasiness to these at all. They just feel really nice. A really rich cream lipstick. Really don't love that $15.99 price tag though, and I can be so content with a regular Super Lustrous. I don't think I'm gonna be like stocking up on more of these. It's one of those things where yeah, it's kind of nice to have one. If you're just really into makeup, you really like Revlon, and this packaging speaks to you. Otherwise, keep with your traditional Super Lustrous. They are great, and they can be creamy and smooth. Maybe you take a couple additional passes with it to get it feeling like this texture, but generally that's okay with me. So anyway, guys, that's our new stuff. I'm really most blown away, I think, by the complexion combo that we used. We had the lifter, foundation, and concealer. They worked beautifully. That Airspun powder did a really good job on top of it. And then my next thing would be the Cloudtopia. These are a wonderful find. It's definitely something I'd be interested in trying more shades of, for sure. I think it's a beautiful formula, super easily blendable, and it throws me back to a time when Maybelline had a lot of great things going on with that Dream Mousse range. It was just funny how all of the Dream Mousse spin-offs were really even better than the original just Dream Mousse foundation. The concealer was so good. The blushes were so good. They had some good eyeshadows too. But anyway, friends, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love your feedback on these products as well. If you've tried them, if you're a different skin type than me, if you've had some different experiences, share them in the comments, and I'll see you again soon. I love you. Bye.